Right, I decided to do a video, get myself in front of the camera rather than always being behind it or writing big posts. So this is pushing me out of my comfort zone, but I'm trying to do a little bit more of that over the last couple of months, doing things that I wouldn't normally do. This post is like a diary entry. It's about my health, and so those of you who are following my health issues, this will be interesting for you, and those who are not, maybe it will be helpful to somebody who is going through health issues that needs to just keep going, learn to just keep going until things are sorted. Now, about 2 years ago, I developed high blood pressure. At the time, they weren't concerned about it, just patted me on the back and sent me on my way and told me I had vertigo. Didn't give me any support for it. So from there, nothing happened until July last year, when I went to the doctor, not feeling very good, and my blood pressure was about 192 over 121. And if you don't know what that means, it is dangerously high, like stroke level high. That set out a journey to try to discover what was causing the high blood pressure. And obviously along the way, they discovered that I had cancer, breast cancer, which was great because that got removed in September. But they put me on a course of blood pressure meds and ACE inhibitors, 3 different types, and they all had disastrous side effects. Like, I literally thought I was going to die. Every night when I went to bed, I thought I wouldn't wake up in the morning. It was probably one of the worst times of my life. I felt completely sick. I also have a neurological disorder. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis about 20 years ago, but discovered a few years ago after a serious head injury that I actually don't have multiple sclerosis. I do have pins and needles pretty much 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year, but they cannot figure out why I have them. I even had an MRI at the time, was inconclusive, so they just decided multiple sclerosis was the closest thing that fit the bill. So that puts dealing with my blood pressure into a difficult category, because I think that is affecting my blood pressure. During my surgery, I had to tell the surgeon, the anaesthetist, that my blood pressure was extremely erratic. So normally, with the blood pressure medications that they put me on, it was sort of sitting between 130 and 160 over 90 to 110, which is terrible, actually. But it also would spike and jump around, like literally in a heartbeat. My blood pressure would change by 10 points either side, just like that. The anaesthetist told me that he'd never seen blood pressure behave the way that mine did in a person my age, and I didn't fit into any of the typical reasons why blood pressure behaves like that. So nicely call me a unicorn. It's quite nice to be called a unicorn, but not for that particular reason. So luckily for me, I had another doctor. My doctor was away, so I got a phone consult for another doctor, and he put me on beta blockers. We started off at half a tablet and worked that up to 2 tablets a day over the course of about 6 weeks. Now, beta blockers did a couple of things. They did reduce my blood pressure, so it sort of sat between high 80s to high 140s sometimes, and that would be over, that would sort of be over high 70s to low hundreds. So slightly better, not great, but slightly better, and I didn't have a million side effects. Still got a bit of vertigo and bits and pieces, but not as bad. And it also dulled my pins and needles. So instead of having them, I normally have them in my hands and my feet, it kind of dulled them right down. Now, I started radiation therapy the day I got back from Australia, day after I got back from Australia, and they told me everything would be fine. I wouldn't get side effects for 2 weeks. So 2 weeks after the first treatment, you get side effects, but mine was 2 days. My pins and needles went crazy. I felt sick. I had vertigo. I felt catapulted back to, sort of August, September, when I literally felt I was dying. It was horrendous. Now, my doctor's pretty useless. I don't think anyone can disagree with that. She has never escalated my issue. She referred me to a neurologist, but that was back in July. We're still waiting. when I went to see the oncology nurse, he escalated me immediately, and so today I am going to see a neurologist. That is pretty cool. At the 2-week mark, I did start getting side effects. I got the radiation rash that you get. I got fatigue and all those other bits. But there's one thing else that happened, so I'll get to that in a second. I could reduce my blood pressure in other ways, so I could reduce it by getting pissed, and I don't mean just a little bit, I mean like totally smashed, and that would drop my blood pressure right down. But you don't really want to be pissed all the time, not actually good for other parts of your body, so okay, but not something I want to do. The other thing that would reduce it is a hot bath. A friend of mine told me, go and have a hot bath. Sure enough, would bring it right back to normal. Fantastic, but you can't live in a hot bath. So eventually you have to get out. Horse riding actually reduces my blood pressure. So people would say to me, oh, you must be stressed. You must be stressed. I'm like, no, this is like the least stressed I've been in probably 12 years. This last year has been very low stress for me. So then people would say, oh, well, it must be cumulative, Renee. You know, it's just built up over the time. Again, no, I don't believe that. That's not how I roll. That's not what that's what it feels like. I'm pretty good at monitoring myself and being self-aware and working really hard on myself. So I don't believe it's cumulative. And what happened with the radiation, I think, goes to prove that it's not cumulative, because probably 2.5 to 3 weeks after my first treatment, my blood pressure started dropping. So I'm not going to show you my boobs, don't worry, but you will see here, you can see here, so that's where the radiation hit. So it's a different colour to this, so oh, that's pretty white, and that's pretty much the same colour. That's my ugly scars that I got. So it changes the colour of your skin. They said it's like, you know, having massive amounts of UV light on you. It's like a tanning machine. So this is where the radiation hit, and it hit my heart clearly, because that's on the left hand side. And they said, you know, that there's a small chance it can do things to your heart, but it shouldn't. But I think it did, because my blood pressure is currently sitting at about low 100s to 130s over 60s to low 90s, which is unbelievable. Now I am also posting with this video a picture of my blood pressure that I took yesterday morning. Still pretty low this morning. I got up, it's 118 over 74, I think it was. But again, it is getting lower and lower as this time goes on from my radiation treatment, which is unbelievable to me. So I'm going to go today. I'm going to go into the hospital and I'm going to ask a few questions, because I'm really interested to know, obviously, what is the neurological disorder and how my blood pressure is affected by it. So I'll keep you posted. And just so that's that. But just on a side note, I know everybody worries about, a lot of people worry about me. A lot of people worry that I overdo it. And yes, I am full throttle, like every single day. I'm up, I'm going. It's amazing I'm even sitting here talking to you, because normally I am busy cleaning. This morning I've got horses to take care of, takes to move, hay to feed out, all sorts of crap. I've got to get the kids on the minis if I can. Well, the weather's not great, but you know, it's not too bad. And then get to my hospital treatment. I'm cramming in a lot before I have to be there at 1 o'clock. And then of course I don't know how long I'm going to be there. But the thing is that 20 years ago, they told me I had multiple sclerosis. So to me, that was like a ticking time bomb. I've watched my other friends go through it, you know, slowly deteriorate over time, the energy levels. Some of them can't work full time, some of them have mobility issues. And so that's where I thought I was going. That's where I thought this was heading. And so it changes the way that you are. You don't have tomorrow. You don't know what tomorrow is going to be like. So you take every minute of every day and you suck everything out of it that you possibly can, and you don't waste a minute of it. You don't stuff around, you just get going. Okay, so I can't just change that. So I know people think, well, maybe she just brought this all on herself because she overdoes it all the time, but that's not the case. I didn't bring anything on myself. Yes, I am full throttle, I will give you that, but I'm also not stupid. So I work, but I listen to my body as well. So when it needs to rest, and I know I've overdone it a bit, then I go and rest. So please stop worrying about me in that way. Okay, I know it's very hard to change the way that you are after 20 years. I can't just turn the switch off and be like, oh, I'm just going to relax and sit and watch TV. It's not going to happen. I like to be busy. It makes me feel good. I feel alive. That's who I am. So for now, I'm not going to change it. And just be kind to me about it. Okay? Just support me. I really appreciate those people who realise that's what I'm like and just get on board. Get on board. Come with me. I'll take you with me. I'm really good at organising stuff and making the most out of the day and going places and doing things. Come on board. Be a part of it. I have room. It's good. Anyway, that's that. And I will touch base with you all after my hospital visit.